If we go there.
Is it on?
No, it's not. What happened? Because it moved to split. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, we're live. Oh, okay. Hi, YouTube. It's the Love Healing Room. I'm your host, Joe Cooper. Welcome to this Super Love Sunday. Okay, that totally caught us off guard. We're getting used to technology and our stream application opened up unexpectedly. But hey, we're here. I'm joined by my beautiful co-host.
Oma and Bayla Darla.
Okay, we're talking about parenting adults. We just had an awesome show, and wow, we shared our experiences because each of us have adult children, and each of us have experienced different challenges and different heart-filled situations with our adult children. And it's not over yet because we still have some at home.
You don't have them at home.
We still have them at home, and we're, you know,
So
pushing them out the nest.
Gingerly, we ain't just not kicking them, but
Almost, not quite.
so now.
Right, we know that this is a conversation that most adult parents don't have.
I know I've never had it with any of my siblings or friends because we just, I don't know, it's not the norm.
Right.
It's not the norm. Our generation was a little bit different, with it than this generation with it. But it's definitely a challenge and interesting to see our children grow and grow up. And we don't want to hinder them and stop them. It's a beautiful thing to have challenges in life for yourself,
Right.
not just to be dependent on your mom and dad, to be there for you. But God bless the child that has his own.
Right.
Man, that was perfect. That's
Right. It really was. It's so as a parent, everything that you're doing from day one is to prepare your child to be self-sufficient, to be healthy, to be as happy as they can be, but eventually to be on their own, to live their lives the way that you would like them uh, to progress better than you did. Most parents want their children to have more success or more happiness or more of everything than they have themselves. So, how do you do that today? How do you do that when, especially right now, we're in a pandemic, and so there's a lot of challenges that come up even outside of the pandemic. But during the pandemic, it's good that you have your daughter with you. I have my daughter with me. You have your son and his family and your daughter. So, but at the same time, you do want them to get on their own.
It's all right to move. I'm not gonna stop you. And I tell mine that too. It's like I don't want to hinder you. I don't want to stop you. You don't have to worry about me. I will be fine with it, but I'm not going to hold you back from getting your own place. And it's a beautiful thing when you do it. Because one of my children, they're planning. She's just a planner. With it, she writes stuff down and she put dates.
That's good.
By what she wants.
That's good.
So she's finding out the beauty of manifestation with it.
So she's really taking control of her life.
Yes, she really is, and I'm very proud of the fact that she's able to do that. But I realize even with all of my children, every one of them are so different,
right.
From one another, and everybody's not going to follow that particular path,
Exactly.
But I don't want to hinder you either, or I don't want to manipulate you. I don't want to stop you. I don't want to stop you. I don't want to enable you to be able to grow.
Wow. So there's always a certain amount of responsibility that parents feel for making sure that their children have what they're supposed to have. But at some point, we have to remember that they're adults and treat them accordingly. And that's a very, very thin line, because I forget
that they're
because she never really left home. She went away to college for a short stint. She went and lived with her father for a short stint. But for the most part, it's like she's always been at home. Always. And I forget. It's like I'm stuck in time. I still see her as a teenager. And I don't mean to, but when I ask her to do things, I'm asking from her being a teenager and me being the mom of the house.
It
So
doesn't help that she looks like a teenager too.
she does.
She just looks like a little baby.
And she acts like a baby. And so and it's probably because of how I treat her. I mean, I have to admit that. I talk to her like, you need to comb your hair, or did you put some oil in your hair? How long has it been? I mean, I say it and I'm like, how am I supposed to say it?
I don't know.
I was talking to you, darling. I was like, Charlie, you need to put some oil in your hair. Did you put some oil? How long has it been?
You looking a little dry up top.
So but that's the thing. It's like, when? Because I find myself reminding my mom, you do know I'm 52 years old, right? You don't have to tell me some things. Parenting doesn't end. It doesn't end. It does not.
And
And
you can see that with your mom.
yeah,
So
I'm like,
just to remind them, mine hasn't said that to me lately. No, I don't think they said that to me at all. But I have to remind them, okay, what we gonna do here? How can I help you along? Because I don't want to take that responsibility out their hands either, because it's not my responsibility to look for a place for you. It's not my responsibility to go on Google and put in searches, because the one thing I'm finding out with some children, you push harder than they do.
yeah, it depends. It depends on what they're motivated to do. So I know that I did have to give my daughter a deadline to move out of the house. I did. And I gave her this deadline last year in like October. I said by next September, I think I said it August. By next August, you need to be in your own place. So that gives you the whole winter, the whole new year, the whole summer, well, almost the whole summer to make that happen. But then the pandemic happened in March. And so it threw everything off. But we have had the conversation again. And she wanted to know if she could have an extension. And I did say yes, because I understand things are not the way that
it was prior to
the pandemic. However, I didn't want to give her an out at the same time. I didn't want her to get laxed on the goal of preparing to move into her own place. So thankfully, she took it upon herself to start researching, and she would ask my input when she would come across nice places or reasonably priced places. And I'd have to give her, a few pointers. You want to make sure that your gas, your heat is included and your water is included, and looking at neighborhoods, make sure it's safe and different amenities. So it's been interesting to see her mature with her research. So we gotta help them to leave the nest.
Fly by yourself.
Yes. Wow. That is it's hard. It is really hard to let go, but we have to let go.
Yeah. And like we said during the show, we have to allow them to make their mistakes and have their experiences. And even lady on Facebook, she said, she knew that she had to allow them to have their own journey.
Yes. And that some of her perspective at first was coming from a place of fear, but then she remembered that she created a good foundation. So yeah, there are a lot of challenges in the world, a lot of challenges in life, period. And to expect to be able to protect your children from all of that, you're setting yourself up and setting them up for serious disappointment and an unrealistic perspective.
Yeah.
So, yeah, parenting adults, it doesn't end. It just kind of it
Switches at
changes.
some
Yeah,
point.
it
Pivots a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just a little put this here, put it, and you keep hitting. Before you know, you're gonna come full circle.
Wow.
And they'll be, and I'll be visiting you.
no, we can't
Mhm.
wait.
I can't.
We can't wait.
I want to visit your place.
Yes.
You know, spend the night, maybe.
Mhm.
But then I have a home that I can go to, and I
Yeah.
can do whatever I want to do. It'd just be me and Callie.
And we talked about how does it feel as an adult parent knowing that you are holding yourself in away from dating, and you really care about how your children perceive you as a single woman or even as a single man. You're impeding your relationships because of your adult children being in the home.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things to consider around that.
I remember this date site that I was on, and they asked that question: do
Really?
you have adult children? You know, still in the home.
Wow, because it matters. It matters. There are, and I know personally, I've witnessed other people's situations where their adult children really try and keep them from having a successful relationship.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
That's not
No.
That's not
On
okay.
any level.
Not on
No,
any
it's not.
level. And
Mm-mm.
I know that there are children who intentionally break up relationships. You know, like if the parents divorce and parents start dating other people, children will sometimes act out to cause rifts in the relationship, and parents fall for it every time. There have been parents who fall for it. Don't fall for it. You really have to help children to understand the importance of adults having relationships. And yes, you have to respect their feelings, but it's not about the child's happiness in that regard. It's about the parent's happiness and the child understanding the importance of respecting
Yeah.
respecting the parents. I don't want to say need, but it's a need to have adult
Their
interaction.
desires, because they
Right.
could desire to want to be in a relationship
absolutely
with someone and or have companionship
absolutely
or whatever, just to go out and date or whatever. And it's not for you to say that they can't do that.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So many single people are miserable because they put their children's feelings first. And not to say that this is a different topic, because it's the same topic. Those children become adults who are
Mhm.
still influencing that parent's relationships.
Mhm. Yeah, because I know some adult children whose parents have been divorced for years and they still wasn't over it. Still don't want to see either parent with somebody else because they want the parents to be back
And
together.
that's not okay.
And it's not happening.
Wow.
And it's different. We're not talking about dysfunctional relationships, but children still need to know that their parents are there for them, but they also need to know that that parent needs to have their own relationship, with someone else, whether they're divorced or not, or whether they're single. They still need companionship and friendship and dating, with someone. It's just let them go.
Mhm.
So
Let
that's
your parents
that's
go.
that's a conversation you need to have with yourself, and maybe amongst siblings. You all really need to come to a an understanding of the love that you have for your parent. You want them to be happy, Be honest about that.
Mhm.
You want them to be happy.
Mhm.
So if you're doing something that's keeping your parents in limbo as far as relationships are concerned, why are you doing that?
Mhm.
Be honest with yourself
Mhm.
and find some healing. Find someone to talk to that you trust so that you can understand your reasoning.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show.
Always.
Because there's so many situations where we all need healing. So, wow. It was fun. It was really fun talking about parenting adults. We did have um, one person in the Love Healing Room asked the question of, would you co-sign for an adult child? And the experience has been, it depends on the child's, or how do you not call your adult? It depends on their maturity level
Mhm.
and their ability to have demonstrated responsibility financially. Because there have been situations where I've experienced helping my daughter, and it didn't go so well when she disappointed me with not holding up her end of responsibility. So yeah, that's a tough one. There's no right or wrong answer. Everybody has to make the choice based upon
The child and the parent.
absolutely the situation.
The situation.
Mhm. So it's been a great prelude to getting this conversation going. And maybe this will help everyone to continue to talk about parenting adults. If you need some one on one time in the Love Healing Room to talk about parenting your adult, go to our website, thelovehealingroom.com, and click on contact and leave your information. We can set up one on one time in the Love Healing Room because everybody needs to have a support system to talk about things
Yeah.
that are going on, important things. We experience important life situations every day,
Every day.
every day. So, wow.
Great opportunities await you. I heard someone say once, do you want opportunities or security?
Mm.
Hmm. Opportunities or security?
So, you have to get out of your comfort zone in order for opportunities to come your way,
Right. You really do.
or for you to a- acknowledge opportunities. That's deep.
It makes you think. And when the question was put towards me, and it was like, I had to really think about that. And there's pros and cons, with
Absolutely.
everything, with it.
Absolutely.
And that's why sometimes, you may have to write them down, make a list of the pros and the cons and then compare them to one another. But it challenged me, and it was like, hmm, okay. I still got to think on that. And it's all right. But at least the thinking gets your mind to, like, okay.
Hmm. Yes. So before we forget, remember if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to the Love Healing Room YouTube page. Like, hit that like button. Go ahead, share. Somebody needs this conversation.
Yeah.
And subscribe. Remember, you can join us every Sunday live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our 1 hour show in the Love Healing Room by dialing 248-289-5882. Again, that's 248-289-5882. And if you're not following us on social media, find us, check us out, Love Healing Room, Facebook, Instagram, and soon to be on Twitter.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to be on Twitter. And find our podcast so that you can get the hour-long show. We use anchorfm.com. But if you go to Spotify, if you go to iHeart, Google Play, you should be able to find us on iTunes. all of your favorite platforms for podcasting. But if you're not finding us, ask for us. Yes. Because we want to give you the support that you need
Mhm.
and that you can share with others.
Yes. Yay,
Yay.
beautiful.
All right, so we're done. This is the longest video we've had in a while, but we hope that you get exactly what you need out of it. And until next time, we're going to leave you with
Namaste.
Namaste.